Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Rather than looking at a brand new boat that is for sale, we're going to look at one that is for charter. Behind me here is a very new Riva 102 Corsaro that is chartering on a weekly rate of 120 to 135,000 euros. So I'm going to show you around the whole boat and give you an idea of exactly what you get for your money. My name is Hugo Andreae, you're watching Motorboat and Yachting. Let's go and take a look. Now, Riva is well known for producing some of the prettiest boats around. Most of you will know them from their gorgeous wooden open sports boats, but they also build much bigger cruising yachts, and this is one of them. Now, this is for charter through Ocean Independence, and we'll give you a little bit of a flavour of what you get during the whole charter process. You have a crew of 5 looking after you, you have a professional chef, and you have all the toys. Under here, we'll open this up and take a look, but trust me, we've got a lot of fun in terms of tenders, toys right under here. Now, moving onto the cockpit area, lovely big sheltered cockpit. You can see the flybridge extension comes all the way out over the top of this dining area here. Being Italian, it is extremely fashionable and full of designer kit. Look here, for example, we've got these freestanding chairs, all fabric covered, rather than kind of built-in dinette. It's all bespoke and designed specifically for the owner. Now we're going to have a quick look at the exterior here. You can see we've got a wet bar and so on. That's also access down into the engine room. But let's start at the top and work our way down. So we're going to go up onto the flybridge, or the sun deck, as they like to call it, once you get to this kind of size of yacht. And again, look at this super stylish arrangement. Again, huge, big, plump designer furniture. Very smart freestanding set of stools that look like they're made from marble. It feels like they are too. Big sun awning stretching out all the way back over the aft end. There is that famous Riva logo. And that really means something. If you've been on a Riva yacht, I think you're already one step ahead of the rest. Lovely big dining table here, very cool director's chairs, little leather strip around them. There's that Riva logo again, you'll be seeing it quite a lot. They do like to make the most of it. And Rivas always go big on very shiny, polished surfaces. So you can see even the deck head here of the hard top, all piano black, glistening. I'm not sure I particularly want to be a crew on this boat because there are so many surfaces that you need to keep clean. Now, big bar area here, full cooking facilities, and I'm told that the chef is one of the best chefs around in Mallorca at the moment, and it prepares full meals up here if you want to eat outside. Got big grill there, obviously lovely bar, all the ice makers and fridges and so on, but quite special to be able to have a professional chef prepare food for you in front of your eyes. Now there is a helm station up here, so the captain can drive from out in the open. He also has a bridge deck down here. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But first, let's follow the flow of the boat, because quite unusually, this has access down onto the foredeck from the flybridge. So you can see there's a gradually sloping deck, a couple of steps down, and this is another really popular guest area. Got a big sun pad, multiple holders for all your drinks and bottles, and Riva towels, everything is branded to match. Even here you can see turquoise, particular another sort of signature color of Riva. But look, this is one of the appealing things. They are such cool looking yachts. It looks like some kind of spacecraft has landed on the deck here. Immense windscreen, double curvature, enormous piece of glass. Lord knows what it costs to produce that. But it's rather lovely knowing that it's not just a beautiful yacht inside, it's a beautiful yacht outside as well. Now moving down To the foredeck, there is yet another layer. It kind of cascades down to the forepeak. You can see we've got stainless steel poles here. You can rig another canopy there, but look what a great view you get from down here, looking back up over that futuristic dome-shaped bridge. But cool little sofa here. This is more a crew area. You've got all the anchors, windlass, all that, but quite a cool looking scoop over the bow there. Let's see if we can have a quick peek. Can't quite reach over there, but you get the picture. This is one very stylish yacht. Right, let's keep going. We'll come back. Now this is an asymmetric design, so whereas on that port deck it gradually slopes down from the flybridge, this one you've got steps down leading down to the main deck again. We've got access into the saloon through here, but we're not going to take that route. We're going to go back into the cockpit and get the full effect of stepping through those doors into the main saloon. Now, again, being Riva, it's not just a handle. There are either buttons or sensors and electric doors that just sweep open in front of you. That's all part of the making that important first impression. And now I told you, it's a lot of dark, shiny surfaces, and it does have a very cool effect. You can feel the air conditioning just stepping through the doors. We've got a big marble table here. So moving through, we won't look at all the details, but I did want to show you one or two things. This, for example, is the famous Riva desk lamp. It's been styled on one of the early spot lamps from one of the old wooden classic Rivas, and you can buy them to adorn your own home, or in this case, your yacht. They are famously expensive, but it is a rather lovely looking piece of kit. Now moving through, we've got a seating area next to a big TV on the bulkhead. And one of the things I like about this, we've got doors everywhere. So we've got another access door out to the side deck here. Again, all electric. I can probably, not sure if it'll close. Oh, there's the close button. If I press that button, oh, you've got to keep your finger on it by the looks of things. But they'll close shut. And then if you can hear that noise there, that is a hydraulic seal, just making sure it's absolutely airtight and waterproof. And even the curtains, I believe, are electric. Oh, no, oh, wrong ones. It's those ones. Look at that. How cool is that? You don't even have to draw your own blinds. Now then, let's move forward from here. Another big window on this side. This is not a door on this one, but this is one of the real reasons for chartering this yacht. Because here, right on the main deck forward, is the master cabin. And what a master cabin it is. Just check that out. How cool is that? Beautiful main deck owner's cabin. And being a main deck cabin, you're that much further removed from any source of noise. So both in terms of hull noise and water interaction, and of course engine noise from further back in the yacht. Magnificent picture window over on this side. More of these high gloss surfaces. I'm terrified of touching anything unless you leave a fingerprint, but as you can see, we've always got this stainless steel, the piano black, the glass, all electric blinds absolutely everywhere. Even the door furniture, you can probably see that little Riva logo set into that. Beautiful surfaces and finishing. Big TV in the bulkhead there, chaise longue over on that side, and then ensuite bathroom further forward, couple of steps down. Equally special. All set up, get your own bathrobes, all part of the charter. We've got a separate heads over here, with a bidet, big window, his and hers sinks, and of course a shower over on this side. Now that is what I call a shower with a view. Quite special, having your morning shower with a view like that. Marble surfacing, all very lovely. Right, let's carry on with the tour. Lots of storage, obviously, hanging wardrobes. We won't have a look behind there because I believe there might be some of the owners or chartering guests' clothes and so on. Should really point out we have also got a day heads here. Nicely positioned on the main deck, so wherever you are, you don't have to drop down to your guest cabin. There is a day heads here. And then dropping down onto the lower deck, got steps down. Look at this, crikey, mirrors absolutely everywhere. But rather nice to have a lobby area. And of course, because of those mirrors, it actually increases the impression of space because it looks like it's twice the size it actually is. This bit here is a mirror, in case you're wondering. I'm not going to put my hands on it because, again, I will leave grubby fingerprints. But look at the 4 cabins we've got down here. So big double on this side. And look at the size of that picture window behind the bed. Pretty cool. You don't get the full impression because we're berthed between a load of other boats, but pretty special to have that kind of view. All en suite, of course. More of that very smart, high contrast, sort of white alabaster, piano black, gloss black. Big walk-in shower cubicle there. Very smart little dressing area or dressing table. LED lights in the mirrors. Identical mirror image of it. So we've come out of that one. We're now going into this one here. Very similar in style, both pretty much identical. Lots of storage everywhere. And of course, another ensuite bathroom. It's almost eerily calm and quiet in here. I can't quite explain what it feels like, but there's something about all these mirrored surfaces and the complete lack of any noise. It's totally quiet and refined down here. I presume we're on shore power, but it's almost eerily quiet. And moving forward, we have 2 more cabins. There's a third double. And I think this is one of the really nice things about chartering this boat is none of the cabins feel like they're the kind of second tier. They're all very similar in size, very similar in style. You're going to be very happy whichever one you're allocated to. All en suite, of course. Very similar style, but plenty of space, plenty of light, and plenty of absolutely spotless surfaces. Somebody must have to spend a long time keeping all of this clean. And then the 4th cabin, twin arrangement, but really very generous. You've got a big gap between the beds here, and the beds themselves are a really good size too. Not quite such a big picture window, but I don't think you're going to be complaining about the size of that one. And look at that, even the ensuite here looks just as stylish and just as luxurious. And you've even got a bidet too. Okay, let's keep on moving. There's more to show. So I'm almost lost myself. There's so much boat to look at. Right, let's come around this side and we'll just make sure the crew are happiest to have a little look round. Would it be okay to have a look in the crew areas? Thank you very much. Before we do that, we'll just pop up to the bridge deck. I told you there was an internal bridge, so as well as that outside helm station up on the sun deck, we've got a very business-like helm station here, and there's that huge windscreen arcing down in front of you. Now, it does mean you have a slightly restricted view when you're at the helm. Got these quite big mullions on either side and quite almost slit-like windows down the side, but that's all part of the styling. But then the beauty is you have got these steps right up behind, so you can very easily go up to the main helm station if you want to take a better look around. So very easy for the captain just to nip up here if he needs to keep a lookout behind him. We're going to have a look at the engine room in a minute, so I can explain a little bit more about how all that works and the performance and so on. But always nice to see the business end of a yacht. Right, now we move through into the crew areas. So this is the main galley. This is where the chef will be working all that magic. American style fridge, freezer. I like the fact that it's all white in here, so it keeps things nice and light and bright. Really good artificial lighting, as well as a certain amount of natural light coming in from that side. Nice little mess area here. You can see the captain or the crew can sit down and either eat a meal or do a bit of work. And then dropping down into the main crew section, I think they're happy for me to have a quick look down here. Drop down. We won't look in all of the crew cabins, but I think there is one we can have a peek at. You can see we've got a pair of bunk beds in here. I believe there are three crew cabins, and I think one heads compartment, but we will maintain their privacy there. But just interesting to see what goes on in the crew space. And you have, of course, got the washer and dryer here to effectively do all the laundering. Oh, there's a wine fridge tucked away in there, and of course the all-important coffee machine. Right, let's see if we can have a peek down in the engine room. Hopefully, is that door? Yeah, the magic electric door. So inside there is actually a sensor, so you don't even have to hit a button. It just knows that you're approaching the door and opens it on your behalf. So there is access to the engine room from here in the cockpit. I've opened the hatch. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this whilst holding the camera, so I'm going to drop down and show you around once I'm down there. It turns out there is a rather easier entrance. I thought it was hidden under here in this little, looks like a sort of wet bar unit in the corner of the cockpit. But you can see we've got a slightly easier ladder to negotiate here, so I can probably do this one-handed. Here we go. Drop down into the engine room. Spin the camera around. And here we are. So we have twin MTU 2000 series. They are V16s, 2,600 horsepower each. You can see they're on V drive, so they're sloping ever so slightly gently this way, and then a reverse gearbox takes it back out the stern of the yacht. Now they're 2,600 horsepower each, and they have a top speed of around about 26 knots and a cruising speed of 24 knots, where I'm told it's burning around about 700 litres per hour. Now, the other thing that makes this particularly good as a charter yacht is that it is one of the most heavily stabilised yachts I think I've ever seen. We have twin Seakeeper 9s, I think they're under here. So those are the big gyroscopic stabilisers, so there's two of them. It also has fin stabilisers. So the two of them together make sure this is an absolutely rock solid boat, both underway and at anchor. And that's because the gyro stabilisers are well known for being really good when you're at rest, but underway, the power of the fins is that much more effective. So you really have got the best of both worlds here. Enormous exhausts going out. You can see through the side of the yacht there. We have twin generators. They're tucked behind here. Twin Kohler generators. I believe they are 25 kilowatt generators each. And individually, each one of those is enough to power the yacht. So together, again, you've got enormous capacity and fail-safe. All the kind of hydraulics and things over here. These are the Sleipner hydraulics. That will be both for the bow thrusters and the fins. And very tidily done, very nicely lit, and plenty of standing headroom. If I just spin the camera around, again, you can see how much headroom I have here. Right, so that is the nitty-gritty. Let's pop back up on deck. There's one more thing I wanted to show you, because this is a sample menu from the chef, a chap called Roberto Diaz, and it gives you an idea of the food that will be served during your charter. So on day one, you'll get grilled sea bream and lamb chops with rosemary and mini bruschetta. On day two, you'll have seafood paella and Mediterranean chicken salad. On day three, herb-crusted lamb shoulder, chicken tagine. It goes on. It just gives you an idea of the kind of experience you're going to get. Now, I thought we'd finish up sitting here in the cockpit of the Riva 102 Corsaro. It's been really interesting to have a look around, not just the yacht, but also try and get a bit of a flavour for what that charter experience involves. So thank you very much to Ocean Independence for letting us have a look at the yacht, and of course to the owner and crew for showing us around. I hope you've enjoyed having a bit of a peek. It's been fascinating for me to see it, and as always, please do let us know what you make of the yacht in your comments. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.